Years has gone by, and where are we? To be frank, we're knee-deep in bull is where we are. Everyone who held a key position in the military still has that position or has been promoted. John Kirby still sits on his perch. Blinken continues to delay key evidence by ignoring delaying subpoenas. Not a single general slapped down their stars. Not a single person has been held accountable. Our so-called leader can't seem to even utter their names in public, not even once.
A broken heart and righteous anger from a father who lost his son, Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, due to Biden's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, that travesty cost the lives of 13 American service members and, of course, the same players who screwed up in Afghanistan, Kirby and Blinken, including, are now running the show in yet another Middle East crisis with the lives of U.S. hostages on the line.
Are these hostages in jeopardy if there is a ground invasion?
You want to make a speech? No, look, obviously they're in jeopardy. The question is whether or not there's any way of getting them out. If we can get them out, we should get them out.
And it's not just the 10 unaccounted for Americans. Reports tonight that the Biden administration is prepping for the mass evacuation of hundreds of thousands of Americans throughout the Middle East. Joining me now is the Gold Star dad you just heard a moment ago, Mark Schmitz. Mark, first of all, it's really good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. How much faith do you have in that same Biden team as you're watching this unfold in the Middle East, as dangerous as this situation is?
I have no faith in them. I don't think they've learned a single lesson from Afghanistan. I mean, we still have American citizens in Afghanistan that we haven't gotten out. I just wonder if Blinken is now climbing in the perch of Kirby, where he saw no chaos. You know, I think these guys are just tone deaf. I think sometimes the State Department needs to take a back seat instead of trying to lead the action here. They need to figure out what the hell they're doing, because they seem to screw up everything.
Well, Mark, I've never seen a situation where people can screw up more, and yet there's no accountability. There's no change in policy, and there's no accountability, no change in personnel. I mean, if this were a basketball team with a coach and an assistant coach that kept losing, the whole coaching staff would be fired, but not here.
It seems this is probably the safest job in the world to have, next to being a meteorologist, you know, where you get to be wrong half the time and still have your job. I mean, these guys, unfortunately, have not taken much from the history books and learned from that. And I'm speaking specifically to Afghanistan. You know, we've demanded for resignations, gotten none. We're seeing generals retiring out, and they're not done. We're not done with them. We'll be calling them back in to the Foreign Affairs Committee to still answer a lot of questions that they may have thought that they got away from without having an answer to. But there's still a lot to be done, and we're never going to stop.
Now, Mark, I want you to see this exchange that Secretary Blinken had about the status of the hostages.
Do you believe that all 10 unaccounted for Americans are being held hostage?
Kristen, we don't know. We don't know for sure is whether some of the unaccounted for are dead and have simply not been uncovered yet, or whether they're hostage. But we have a pretty strong idea that some number of the 10, at least, are being held in Gaza by Hamas.
I mean, Mark, does anyone on the face of the planet look at that interview and his comments and think this guy knows what he's doing? Anyone alive?
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, and I fear for those families that are concerned for their loved ones still over there. I know our military, at the drop of a hat, would do what they've got to do and what they love to do best. But the last thing I want to see is another Gold Star family out of all this. You know, I don't think a lot of this stuff would have happened, including Ukraine and many other instances that are going on around the world, had we had a leader that actually showed some backbone. I've been watching his idle threats to Iran that if you do this, we're going to do that. You know, I don't see anybody being spooked by that whatsoever.
Well, no,
it's shameful.
Mark, thank you, and we continue to pray for you, your family, and the families of all those service members lost. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.